In a picturesque valley surrounded by rolling hills and vibrant wildflowers, there lay a lush vineyard. The grapevines were heavy with clusters of ripe, juicy grapes glistening in the sunlight. This vineyard was known far and wide for its sweet, delicious grapes. Not far from this vineyard lived a clever and ambitious fox. The fox was always on the lookout for opportunities to make his life a bit easier and more comfortable. His keen eyes often spotted treasures hidden in the valley, and today those eyes were set on the vineyard's succulent grapes. One sunny afternoon, the fox was wandering near the vineyard when he caught sight of the grapes hanging from the vines. Their rich colour and plumpness promised a delightful feast. The fox's mouth watered at the thought of savouring the sweet grapes. Filled with excitement, the fox approached the vineyard. But as he got closer, he realised that the grapes were hanging from the highest branches of the vines. They were far out of his reach, even when he stood on his hind legs. The fox, undeterred by the height of the grapes, decided to try and jump for them. He took a few steps back, crouched low, and then leaped as high as he could. But no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't reach the grapes. Determined not to give up, the fox tried again and again, each jump more desperate than the last. He could almost taste the grapes, but they always remained just beyond his grasp. Realizing that jumping alone wouldn't work, the fox decided to try a different approach. He looked around for something to stand on. After searching for a while, he found a large rock nearby. He pushed the rock to the base of the vine and climbed on top of it. But even from the top of the rock, the grapes were still too high. The fox stretched and strained, but his efforts were in vain. The tantalizing grapes dangled above him, mocking his futile attempts. After many failed attempts, the fox finally sat down, panting and exhausted. He gazed up at the grapes, feeling a deep sense of disappointment. His desire for the grapes had blinded him to the reality of the situation. They were simply out of his reach. As he sat there, the fox began to reflect on his efforts. He realized that sometimes, no matter how hard we try, we can't always get what we want. It was a hard lesson, but an important one. Accepting disappointment was a part of life. With a newfound sense of acceptance, the fox stood up. He took one last look at the grapes and then turned away, ready to move on. He realized that the vineyard was full of other opportunities and that his time would be better spent exploring them. As the fox walked away from the grapes, he felt a sense of peace. He knew that there would be other chances, other opportunities to find what he was looking for. And with that, he trotted off into the vineyard, ready for his next adventure. The fox's story is a reminder to all of us that disappointment is a natural part of life. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, we can't achieve our goals. But it's important to face these disappointments with grace and to move forward with a positive attitude. The key to overcoming disappointment is to accept it, learn from it, and keep going. There are always new opportunities waiting for us, as long as we have the courage to move on and the wisdom to see them. And so, the fox's tale teaches us that while we may not always get what we want, we can always find new paths to explore and new dreams to chase. By facing disappointment with strength and resilience, we open ourselves up to a world of endless possibilities. Remember, it's not the setbacks that define us, but how we respond to them. Keep moving forward, and you'll find your own path to happiness and success.